guys, so we're back talking some more Season 2 of Chucky on the channel, Episode 2. I still am kind of shook from the first episode. I still am kind of surprised that Chucky killed off Jake's foster brother. The first episode, though, was a great setup for what's to come for the rest of the season, because now in Episode 2, we are in the thick of it. We are now having the kids attending Incarnate Lord, and we're also getting some stuff with Tiffany as well. Since we didn't get any of them in the premiere episode, I'm glad that we started off getting more of Tiffany and Nika. I mean, they pull a move right out of The Godfather. Instead of a horse head being in their bed, it is a bloody Tiffany doll. Each time I see Nika, I feel so awful for her in the situation that she's put in. She has no arms, she has no legs, she's being held captive by Tiffany, and to make matters worse, she is still sharing a body with Chucky. At this point, I don't know how the situation could get any worse, but there is an interesting development in this because it seems like we are seeing a sort of team up here, having Chucky and Nika conspiring inside of their mind to get revenge on Tiffany, which does make sense because Tiffany has done them both quite dirty. After this conversation, it did leave me wondering just how exactly Chucky got the head of that Tiffany doll into Tiffany's bed, because Nika doesn't have arms or legs, so I have to wonder how he killed it in general. I guess he used his mouth? I don't know. It's something to speculate about. Now that the kids are officially enrolled in Incarnate Lord, which by the way, even without the Chucky doll running around, that place looks creepy. The atmosphere of that place is just bad vibe central. The kids are creepy, the adults, the nun, Father Bryce, all of them, they're just very shady individuals. Even still, I was intrigued to get to know these new characters that we're going to see across Season 2. The one I was most interested in was seeing Devon Sawa return and playing another role in the Chucky franchise. He is now the headmaster of Incarnate Lord Father Bryce. You get to meet Trevor, who Lexi mentioned in the last episode, and we also meet a character named Nadine, who I am a little bit suspicious of right off the bat. Seems like a fun, quirky style character. She's a little bit of a kleptomaniac, but I don't know. Her backstory, the way that she explained things to Lexi about it, it just seems kind of shady, at least to me. There's still some gaps in her backstory that I feel like need to be filled in still, which I am sure is going to happen because she is the roommate to Lexi. I had to laugh, though, the way that they played off the whole fact that Jake and Devon are roommates as well, warning them to not go playing around with the girls. It does have me worried, though, how that's going to play into their stay at Incarnate Lord, because they are not really telling people that they're gay. I mean, there are other bigger problems arising, like Chucky is going around murdering people, but it's going to be interesting when Father Bryce and the nuns and all of them find that out. I think that reveal is kind of inevitable eventually down the line. And speaking more on Jake, I feel terrible for Jake in this episode. You can see how much guilt he's harboring, not just for everything that's happened to him that involved Chucky, but getting everyone into that predicament along with him with no clear end in sight, since now we have to deal with a Chucky running around Incarnate Lord. And what an introduction that this Chucky makes. I think it was absolutely hysterical the way he introduces himself and how excited he is that he scared Sister Elizabeth, and the fact that he's making these vampire hissing noises because she's holding up a cross like he's a vampire. We did establish in the premiere that Chucky now has a cell phone because he's been using it to Uber himself around everywhere. I did not expect him to continuously take pictures of people over the course of this episode, whether it be of himself or he takes a picture of the dead Sister Elizabeth. He's taking pictures of Jake before he climbs up the fireplace to escape. All of that stuff was hilarious, especially when we see later on the pictures on his phone when they take it from him. The selfies in particular. The selfies were, I mean, it's Chucky. Of course they're going to be hilarious, but even for Chucky standards, that was pretty goofy. Adding insult to injury, we get one of the best shots of the entire episode when Jake, Lexi, and Devon figure out that Chucky not only is in Incarnate Lord, but caused the death of Sister Elizabeth, and they see that Chucky doll on the desk, and it flips them the bird. Look, I know that horror characters are supposed to be completely oblivious to their surroundings, but I'm really surprised that Father Bryce does not believe them at all about everything that's going down with Chucky and the Chucky doll. If you would just do a simple Google search, you would see there are many decades worth of info about this killer doll going around killing people. Nevertheless, he locks Jake inside of the office with no weapons or anything to defend himself, but surprisingly, there was no actual confrontation between Jake and Chucky. Like I said before, he takes a picture of him and goes up the fireplace, then later is spotted by Lexi and then is held hostage. We still don't have a general idea yet of what the new plan is for Chucky or how many Chucky dolls are left, because that crash with Andy in the last episode took out quite a bit of them, but it seems like he's crafting something really good here if he's sending out scout Chuckies to gather info on Jake, Lexi, and Devon. The meta moments in the franchise never fail to make me laugh or smile, and that is no different here in this week's episode, seeing Tiffany and Nika watch Liar Liar, Jennifer Tilly scenes in Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. I just love those little moments here to remind us that Jennifer Tilly is still Jennifer Tilly Tilly in this universe. So I guess Liar Liar also is in this universe as well. Jennifer Tilly is great. I mean, she is really hamming it up in this show, and it's one of the highlights, at least for me. She even gets a kill in the episode because a detective is lurking around trying to find Nika. But the most exciting tidbit about this entire storyline is the fact that Glenn and Glenda have returned. We don't get to see them. We know from the promotional material that Lachlan Watson is playing both of them, so that's really exciting that we're finally getting the return of Glenn and Glenda. But yeah, what a fun episode this week. Another kind of setup here for Incarnate Lord and the madness that's going to ensue there. I also wonder what's going to go on with the storyline involving Jennifer Tilly, Tiffany, technically, and Nika, and what they're trying to do to try and escape is also Glenn and Glenda's return. I mean, let's be honest, that's been a long time coming here. We haven't seen them since, what, Seed of Chucky? That was a very long time ago. So hopefully their return here will be a little bit more, well-received compared to Seed of Chucky. So make sure you share your thoughts down below. What did you think of Season 2, Episode 2 of Chucky? Did you like the episode? Did you not like the episode? Share any thoughts or theories you may have where we're going to go with the rest of the season, because part of the fun is to have the conversation with you guys in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for the reviews. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you like on the video and also subscribe to the channel so there's update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Next time, I'll see you guys later.